The concept of prosecuting minors in accordance with law is extremely divisive, and many people question whether or not it is even permissible under the Constitution. In a fit of adrenaline-fueled wrath, children can commit horrendous crimes, which then has a ripple effect that ruins their entire life. These are some of the juveniles who have already served or are now serving some of the longest jail sentences in the United States. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at the 5 longest life sentences given to teens. Yeah, you heard it right. Ahmed Mansour Karni. In case you can't believe what you're reading, the Egyptian government has handed down a verdict of life in prison for a youngster who was found guilty of 4 murders. 1 attempted murder, vandalizing property, and making threats against police personnel. All of this was accomplished before the child turned 2. That's accurate. He was a young child when he started murdering other people. How in the world is that even a possibility? He joined the ranks of the other 150 defendants who were all given a sentence of life in prison. He was born in 2012. It is possible that he was charged for simply being in the same room as the other perpetrators, but on the whole, this is quite unbelievable. Eric Smith. In 1994, Eric Smith was found guilty of murder in the 2nd degree and received the maximum possible punishment for a juvenile murderer at the time, which was 9 years in prison. In the evening of a summer day in 1993, Eric took Darren Robbie, then 4 years old, into the woods, stripped him naked, strangled him to death, and then bashed his head in with a rock. All of this occurred while Eric was cycling to the summer camp. Up until the year 2016, Eric was denied parole on 8 separate occasions. His next opportunity to appeal will come in 2018. John Silva. At the time of his conviction for murder in the 1st degree, John was just 15 years old. He forced his companion to swallow a gag while he kidnapped him, and then he strangled him to death by wrapping him in wires, bandages, and elastic in such a way that he couldn't breathe. After he had passed away, he disposed of his remains by throwing it into a septic tank. John was given a sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole. If he had been an adult at the time of the crime, he would have been sentenced to the death penalty. Brian Lee Draper. When Brian and his accomplice Tori Adamant broke into the home of their fellow student, Cassie, they were both 16 years old. Tori Adamant was Brian's accomplice. They kept her down while they stabbed her 29 times after turning off the power. They both accused the other of being responsible for the murder, but now they're serving life sentences for the crime. It was later discovered that they were motivated by the Scream franchise as well as the massacre that took place at Columbine High School. Lionel Tate. Lionel was the youngest person ever to be condemned to live in prison without the possibility of release for an offense committed as an American citizen. In January 2001, when he was only 13 years old, he was found guilty of murdering a 6-year-old girl in Florida and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He claims that they were wrestling and that he had her in a headlock when he smashed her into a table and then continued to stomp on her, which caused a laceration to her liver. He also claims that the incident occurred while they were wrestling. Joshua Phillips. Phillips was convicted of life in prison without parole back in July 1999. Joshua Phillips, who was 14, hit her 8-year-old neighbor, girl, with a ball while playing baseball. He dragged her to his room and strangled her with a phone cord for 15 minutes, hit her again with a bat, and finished the job by stabbing her 11 times. After the girl's disappearance, a week-long search was initiated until Joshua's mother found his waterbed leaking and discovered the poor girl's body inside of it. He had killed her and then decided to sleep on her corpse for the rest of his life. So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so that you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section down below. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next video.